a report that you guys probably look at every quarter. I very rarely look at it, but I looked at it this week. Came out on Monday. The senior loan, um, what was it? Officers Opinion Survey, the SLOOS, crazy acronym. Basically, it's saying regional banks are, in banks in general, tighter credit. But I was actually surprised to see demand is down as well. You guys probably look at this report a lot more often than I do. What did you see in it? What were kind of the takeaways for you?
I mean, in terms of the report itself, the demand across the country is averaged down, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
we
is that
we
odd? I thought
we
that was
see it.
odd.
I mean, we've seen it because people, I mean, the affordability is down. I think that's what it is, right? It's not actually demand that's down. It's actually more, I think, affordability of people to be able to buy is down. Especially with the banks. If you think about it, their credit tightening is next level, right? They're next level conservative now. We talked about it in last week's video, right? And in terms of our side, I mean, even if on the conventional side, I mean, DU, LP, like, desktop underwriting, loan prospect for Fannie and Freddie, those are getting tighter too.
Wow.
So now I think that falsely creates a decrease in demand. I think the
Sure.
demand there, right? People want to do things, but how many people can actually do things is really the measure that they can't put on paper, right? Because there's no way to measure that, right? Everyone wants to do something. Demand is measured by the actual people that can actually apply and actually move forward on something, right?
Okay.
The applications filled out. But a lot of these files are being thrown out before the applications are even filled out, right? Which means that
Wow.
demand is down. Loan to value, debt to income ratio, down payments, all that. Like, who can put in LA? You want to buy a shack for $1 million, right? You even 10%, it's 100 grand. So how many people can really put 100 grand to buy a shack and be competitive to buy that shack because everyone else is offering 20% down, 30% down, or even cash, right? So it's how do you compete against that in that type of market? And I think that creates a false decrease in demand, even though the demand is there,
Yeah.
just because of the lack of supply and the lack of people that actually qualify than they did before.
Yeah. And then the biggest takeaway for me on that survey was they're forecasting getting tighter all year. I
Mhm.
was like, oh my goodness. I mean, you guys probably remember this. Remember when we only could do 4 loans for investors? That was kind of the tightest I've ever seen. I hope we don't get back to that. But yeah, again, the lenders telling us um, we're going to get tighter all year was not a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Yeah. And I mean, tighter all year, I think I think it's very market based, right? It's
Sure.
individual. The biggest thing is going to be what is available, like you said, for investors. But the demand, I think, is going to continue to be there because people still have money, right?
Mhm.
And we haven't really seen the full blown effect of what actual lowered prices would do to a market. Just because we lived it for a short period of time, but in that short period of time, rates were up. So it was kind of like an offset itself. So I'm curious to see what'll happen once prices actually correct a little more into a realistic sense where it actually starts making sense for, rates plus the actual payment of the house. And then, at that point, we'll see where the demand stays. But, I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily like we got to take everything with a grain of salt, right? Even everything we say. So when they say demand is down, again, like I said, I think it's a false demand
Right.
because, we're not seeing that. We're seeing demand up, actually,
Hmm.
the other end.
Yeah.
So I think it's very isolated. The people that write those reports, they might not be as active in the market. I don't know.
They're
Who
not
knows?
active. Come on. They're not
Who
active.
knows, right? They're just probably looking at pieces of paper, going like,
Yep.
"Oh, okay, demand looks like it's down." It's not the actual people that are in the ditches, digging
Sure.
and being like, "Oh, demand's actually up." People just aren't qualifying. It's just
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, you guys are helping out one rental at a time fans every day, every week. If somebody wanted to reach out, see about a refi or purchase what they qualify for, how should they do that?
Go to convoyhomeloans.com and let us know that you came from ORAT.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Appreciate it,
Thank you.
guys.